Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. What's up, to call me? And yeah, so let's talk about Sonic. So about a few years ago, I already gave my opinions about the Sonic franchise and what I think Sega should do with it. So that was a few years ago. And, I could say I've improved the way I talk and, the way I describe shit, because back then I was really vague or just very extreme. I said the Sonic franchise should die and take a break. It's like, wait, what? You can't just be like, yeah, go kill yourself and then come back to life and, do shit right. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So, I kind of want to make this shit again. And also, I thought maybe by the time I make the second video, maybe Sega improve the franchise, and the franchise is well respected. No, it's not. it's not. Now, I knew I was going to make this video again. It's just, when was I going to do it? So it wasn't until recently I had a comment in that video, and we had a conversation. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, it wasn't until that conversation I thought, all right, I think it's about time to finally make this second video again. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about my opinions about the Sonic franchise. Now, again, I'm not talking about the shows or the movies or the comic books or the fan base. Jeez. No, I'm just talking about solely the games. So Sonic the Hedgehog, one of the most iconic characters in the gaming world. He's had so many movies, shows, games that is centered around him. And because of all that exposure, he has a large fan base. So, criticizing him, I might get a lot of people hating this video. Well, no one watches his channel, so I think I'm good, except for that one person. But yeah, Sonic is the most iconic character, and he's beloved by many people, except for me. I'm not a big fan of Sonic. Now, when I was a kid, I was a big fan of Sonic. My first Sonic game was Sonic R. Yeah, I know, the one with the racing and the creepypasta and the doll, that shit, yeah, I know. But that's the first Sonic game that I've owned. I have played the older ones, but that's only when I visited my family members that had whatever console that was playing on. But I finally got to play those when it was ported to the GameCube and Game Boy. So yeah, I've been a fan of the Sonic franchise for a while, and I've played a good amount of games where I could tell you that I've noticed the franchise going downhill after they were making more 3D Sonic games. And even during that time, like, the few batches they made, they were actually pretty good. Like Sonic Adventures 2, Shadow the Hedgehog, they were pretty good, 3D Sonic games. But after that, it was just a nosedive. Just games after games was just garbage. The games that I was talking about was Sonic Unleashed, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic Black Knight. Like, I've played those games, and I thought, what the fuck happened to the franchise? Like, what happened? They couldn't just, maybe, made Sonic Adventures 3. It could basically be a just copy and paste, maybe different worlds, but no, they were like, yeah, let's just ruin this franchise. But after those 3 games, I was like, man, fuck the franchise. I'm done with it. I'm just gonna leave. And I haven't bought a Sonic game until, well, I didn't really bought Sonic Mania. I got it free for PS Plus, so so yeah, I haven't played a Sonic game until Sonic Mania, and Sonic Mania was actually pretty good. I liked it. But Sonic Mania is just old Sonic. Yeah, old Sonic is good, and but are you gonna make 3D Sonic better or something? Because you're just depending on nostalgia at this point, with Sonic Mania. Before Sonic Mania, there was Sonic Boom, and that was just horrible too. Like, it wasn't just a bad game, it was like a broken game. Like, there were so many glitches happening. So yeah, it was just that game was just embarrassing. And then after Sonic Mania, what's it called, Sonic Special Force, I think that's what's called. Yeah, another game that's just fucking uninspiring at all. It's just, okay, guys, here's some, levels, and oh my god, you get to customize your own, whatever the fuck these animals are called. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is, the franchise is a joke. Like, they're not even trying with the games, They're not trying anything that is innovating with the story, the gameplay. There's no inspiration. It's just a copy and paste. Oh, guys, it goes 3D and then it goes 2D. Like, how many games are going to do that? Like, what I want Sega to do with the Sonic property is how Nintendo treats the Mario property, with quality and respect to the IP. Like, do you really think Sega is fine with Sonic Boom or Sonic Forces? Like, You really think they look at these two games like, yeah, we're doing a great job over here? No! Like, they don't give a shit about the franchise. Just like how the fans don't really give a shit about the franchise. Like, they just accept anything. It's like, yeah, I like this piece of shit you're giving me. I'll eat this any day. Like, the Sonic fans are as bad as the sports fans. I'm talking about the FIFA, the 2K, the Madden. Like, they're fine with ads between loading times or fucking microtransactions up the ass. No, they're fine with that. Like, why aren't the Sonic fans mad about Sega releasing all these bad Sonic games? It's like, what it seems like is that the fans have a low standard that if Sega just gives them, I don't know, like a decent game every 5 to 10 years, then they're okay with it. That's what it seems like. All right, so let's talk about the conversation I had in the comment section in my old video about the Sonic opinion. So the guy I was talking to, who's going to be nameless because I don't want anybody going after him, his first comment was like, he was offended that because I didn't like Sonic, and the way I was talking shit to Sonic, you know, it sounded ignorant. You know, like I said, the way I talk back then, you know, my older videos, I sounded really broad and very exaggerated. So, you know, it sounded like I wanted the franchise to just die, but that's not what I really meant. What I was trying to say was there hasn't been any good 3D Sonic games after, you know, Sonic Adventures 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog. And the reason why I'm saying specifically 3D Sonic games instead of 2D Sonic games, because, you know, Sonic started in 2D, and most of the 2D Sonic games have been great. They're good. I can't argue that. But when we talk about 3D Sonic, yeah, it's not even comparable. It's just straight up bad. And I want to see the Sonic franchise innovate, try something new. That's what I'm seeking. I want to see games as good as Sonic Adventures 2 or Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, we haven't had those type of games, you know, in my opinion. You know, like, I haven't seen any games that really attracted me. I think, you know, Sega should just take a little bit of a break and try to figure out what they should do to try to, you know, revamp the franchise. You know, try something new. You know, like it feels like whenever they attempt 3D, it just goes. It just it's like I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do. But when they go 2D, it's like, oh yeah, we just copy and paste, you know, what was good about 2D and just put it in this new game. We don't even have to try. So I explained myself. A few exchanges later, he understood what I was trying to say, and I thought, that's it. But no, it continued on. Now his new problem is I haven't played all the Sonic games, so that means I can criticize and say that the quality of Sonic games went downhill. So I can't do that because I haven't played all of their games. The guy's not understanding what I'm trying to say. My argument isn't just simply saying, oh, I don't like Sonic games. That wasn't the argument. My entire argument was that I haven't been liking any of the recent Sonic games because they all just look the same. And also, they're pretty bad. Like, how many games are we gonna get where they say, oh, it goes 2D, and then it goes to 3D? Like, Sonic has been around for 30 years right now. So what you're telling me, after Shadows and Adventures 2, they're like, yeah, we're out of ideas. It's like they're not even trying with the Sonic franchise anymore, because I don't see anything new. I don't see any innovations. It doesn't feel like they're trying. They're just pulling out just mediocre games, and the few times they do bring out an average game, you know, the fans seem to like it. And then I just start questioning myself, like, am I the only one complaining and asking more from a Sonic game? Because it seems like everybody's okay with this. So that's why I'm saying that, yeah, I don't care about the franchise because it's not for me. That's why I think the games are bad, because it's no longer for me, you know? I thought Sonic Adventures 2 and Shadow the Hedgehogs were pretty good, but it seemed like after that, they just started making games that I don't really like. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like any of the games, and I'm not going to try them because they look the same like all the other games. And I think you guys heard the saying, you know, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, I think the franchise is broken as shit, but it seems like the fan base don't really see that. And they're fine with this. So that's why, you know, I'm like, all right, it's for you guys. It's no longer for me. That's why I'm criticizing that I would like to see some innovation to the Sonic franchise. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the franchise should just die. That old video, that was just clickbait. I got you guys. So yeah, I think that the franchise is bad. And if you like it, that's fine. But what I really hate is when somebody acts like they're being neutral, but in reality, they're just butthurt because you're talking shit about their favorite franchise. I've said the same thing about the Call of Duty franchise. I felt like the franchise was doing the same thing over and over again, and I stopped playing them. I think the last time I played it when I said that statement was like a Black Ops 3 or 4. I can't remember. They all look the same. But yeah, I haven't went back to the franchise until Modern Warfare 2019. That's when it felt like, oh, they actually, did something new. They got a new engine, the gunplay was great, everything felt new. And I've heard a lot of people say that, World War II was actually pretty good, but it's like, yeah, but I'm watching it, and it's like, it looks like the same shit, so I didn't bother getting it. It's like with the, the Far Cry franchise. It's like, oh, wow, Far Cry 3 was great. And then, Far Cry 4 came out, it's like, all right, this felt like Far Cry 3, but with an elephant. Then Far Cry 5 came out. It was like, all right, this is just the same game, but just it doesn't have a soul. It feels like a copy and paste without a personality. And I've said the same thing about the Pokemon franchise. Like, I thought, the gameplay and the mechanics are still good, but like, them taking away and then adding new shit, I didn't really like that. But at least I thought, the mechanics are still good. But fucking A, it's the same game over and over again. It's like, okay, I get the saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, fucking A, I mean, yeah, it's not broke and you don't have to fix it, but man, I'm getting bored. Like, I kind of stopped playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl after Black and White. Like, yeah, I heard Black and White was actually good, but it's like, fucking A, I can't, it feels like the same game. So I kind of just stopped. And, I haven't went back until, what was it called? X and Y. But after that, Sword and Shield comes out, and it looks like the same game. And I was like, all right, I'm tired of this shit. This reminds me of a lot of them. What was it called? Sun and Moon. And I didn't like that game either. It was really just boring. So, yeah. I put out the same energy with whatever franchise. It's just, when I talk about Sonic, I got somebody offended by it. So, in conclusion, I don't like the Sonic franchise. I think they're just unappealing. I don't think it's built for me. It's built for the people that actually like these types of games. But I do think Sonic deserves better. And I wanted to see a change, but it seems like no one's asking for it. So my opinion is just irrelevant. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow my Twitch, Twitter. To me, Twitch, and Twitter. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll